Hello everyone, Pat here again, storyteller for the latest installment. This is the third now in the romance series. This time about a bride and a wedding dress and the adventures of the bride and the wedding dress. So stick around for that. Welcome to new subscribers and welcome to people coming back. Always love to see you coming back. But today, so we're going to have the story, which will be nice and calm for your evening rest or whenever you feel like relaxing and listening to something interesting. And we'll have a card reading at the end, which is just that fun little extra something. And before all of that, I'd like to tell you about another channel that I visit and recommend, and it is the channel of Sonia Rain Lee, and I'm going to post the header of the channel, and in the description box below you'll see the link to her site. Sonia Rain Lee is a healer in her message and in her sharing. She has a very humane healing energy, and I definitely recommend giving her some time and letting her share her message with you. She has postings on Wednesdays and Fridays, I believe, but you'll see that in the header, which I'm about to post right now. So take a look at that. So I hope you'll visit Sonia Rain Lee's channel. And now here is the story of the bride dresses, a romance tale. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, here we go. At the altar, her heart about to hit the floor. Dress made and modified to the perfect fit. Bridal bouquet in hand. Small, intimate group gathered for the event. But where is the prospective marriage partner? She had told everyone it was a surprise. In fact, everyone was surprised at the announcement, at the invitation. When did she even start dating again? How long had this relationship been going on so that it reached the point of, will you marry me? And I do. Did anyone notice her wearing an engagement ring? Not that you need that these days. Did anyone even notice her being obsessive about a new someone in her life the way she usually would be? None of that was the usual prelude to this. Let's not forget, this wasn't the first time she'd put on that same dress and stood there waiting. This was what? The third time? Well, give her credit for being brave enough in her heart to try this again and again and again. The first time she was 17 years old, and everyone told her she was too young. Too young, they said, even though she said her own mother and grandmother got married at that age, or thereabouts. Well, that first time the groom's parents rushed to the wedding chapel before the I do's were said and dragged their son out of the place. Luckily for her, she was always for small weddings, so it wasn't like a big crowd was there for that embarrassing historical moment in her life when word leaked out that the two teenagers were going to try it again and elope. The boys' parents packed up and moved back to their home country. That was a solution for sure. We are left to wonder if the young fellow went on to a different life or died of a broken heart. To decide to move to a whole other country just to keep two heart-struck teenagers apart is other level controlling. But who are we to judge? This girl was no saint, and his parents were super strict. Looks like he was hoping to marry just to escape them. Maybe? But that just went in a whole other direction. Whole other country. Whole other direction, literally. 10 years pass before she puts on the same wedding dress again. And the next time she decides it is going to be a civil wedding. So to City Hall she goes. You would have thought that after the first fiasco, she would have gone to City Hall with her intended. No. She agreed to meet up there at 3 p.m., the appointed time to stand before the Justice of the Peace to say the I do's. 3:05 and no show. 3:10. 3:15. 3:20. And it's time for the next couple to stand before the Justice of the Peace. So, where is the new partner? As she is walking out of City Hall, heart broken, accompanied only by her best friend, the same best friend who asked time and again, "Are you sure about this? Do you know enough about this person? Have you met any of his family members in the whole 18 months since you first met? I really don't think you're being clear-headed about this. How come only you are spending the money for the marriage license? How come you haven't even been to his place? What do you mean it's being renovated? You haven't even seen it from the outside?" That best friend, as they are walking out of City Hall, her phone rings and she reaches into her handbag to answer it. And this is when the voice on the other end identifies herself as his wife. His wife. This is when she drops the phone and collapses into a messy, crinolined heap in that beautiful wedding dress onto the steps of City Hall. This is the moment the news camera that is there to interview the mayor about a new highway running through a quiet residential neighborhood turns the camera on her because the bawling, the wailing, the pain from her heart is so loud. That one made the evening news. She looked messy with all that bridal makeup smeared all over her face from crying. Some of it messed up the whiteness of her wedding dress. So why would any woman even think to put on that same dress a third time? Especially after that news story would run every year on the day before Valentine's Day, because that is the day it happened. Now, here we are, 10 years after that sad outrage, and 20 years after the first one. You get the feeling that, like clockwork, she has to do this every decade. Maybe she even secretly had a practice run when she was age 7 with her dolls. Who's to say? So there she stands, and every tick of the clock to the appointed time is like a town clock making a gong. Then the door at the back of the church swings open, and there stands another bride. Everyone gasps, thinking, oh no, he didn't show up. It's time for the next wedding. But here she is, standing at the altar with a big smile on her face. A smile of absolute relief, in fact. You made it, she said. Happy spring. Oh well. I guess they wanted just to hear this because it just fell out. Isn't it a nice message? That's it for today. That was a surprise. Thank you, my guides and angels. Can you see? Security.